All right. So, you know how strong America is, right? Strong on a relative scale.
Yeah.
I've been watching videos recently, just because they popped up on my For You and like YouTube, and it was a lot of a Brit reacts to what would happen if America were to go at war with the rest of the world, and America and Russia were to solely focus on each other.
See, I've seen those videos, but I've only seen them in relation to, like, rugby player reacts to American football.
Yeah,
European soccer player reacts to American football. I've seen those.
yeah. Well, this guy, he's watching like Watch Mojo, and I forgot the other one. It was like probably like the infographics show. I would want to say,
Watch Mojo
and
still exists?
yeah,
Still
surprisingly,
rocking,
they've
huh?
yeah. I haven't seen much of them since a few years ago, to be honest. But a lot of it pointed towards America having a big strategic advantage in a lot of these situations because of our firepower. And it was like, of course, America and Russia, China, like they're superpowers of the world, EU and all of that. And I was just thinking, like, a lot of these are based off of past, like, really old information, and America still somehow won. I'm just like, yeah, we're a big superpower,
Well, it's because
Lats flared.
we are almost triple the amount of second place when it comes to military spending. It's a
We are
disgusting amount.
over the top 10, I believe, combined.
It is a disgusting amount of money that
Yeah.
we pump into the military, and then that government will turn around and say, "Healthcare? We couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
We couldn't afford proper funding for schools. We can't. Are you crazy?
Yeah, no,
Hey,
we have
Ukraine,
a
hey,
lot of
Army,
our.
have another $300 billion.
To be fair, not really. A
I
lot
know
of the
that's
stuff
an
we gave the
over-exaggeration,
Ukraine.
but
I mean, yeah, a lot of the stuff we gave the Ukraine was older equipment, as according to anybody I've seen on the internet stating this. But like our government spending on the GDP scale for our army was, I want to say 4%, but in like World War II, it went up to like almost 40% of our nation's spending. So I mean,
that's because, not to put my tinfoil hat on here, but World War II started and we got in it. Then every bit of the higher ups were like, "Ooh, there's money in death," you know.
yeah, it makes sense knowing how politicians do things.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past them.
It's the start. And I don't mean to sound like that guy, but the military-industrial complex, the one old Dwight D. Eisenhower, old Dickie D. Dickie D. No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Dickie D.E. What he tried to warn us about, how the government was like, "There's money in war. Hey, can we stay out of war? I want money."
And it makes sense considering the way the U.S. has acted in past wars. Technically, we had no real involvement in the Ukraine situation recently. I'm not an expert on any of this, by the way, but I don't think we had really much involvement to get into the Ukraine other than NATO.
Any of the Cold War wars, the mini wars in the Cold War, the Vietnam, the Korean, we really didn't have any business. Everybody was like, "Well, to fight communism."
Yeah. And like a lot of those videos that I'd seen today of all things, even like pointed out that the US struggled in Vietnam, but every comment I see about that is just like, yeah, that's because politics were over that one and not the army, the military.
Even the most conservative person you talk to, and this is a weird route we're going down for an episode for superpowers, but even like the most staunch conservatives you talk to, like my grandfather, he's like, "Yeah, no, that was a police action. That was not a military, we need to be over there. No, that was us just thinking we are the law of the world. We're the police. You're doing wrong and we see it as wrong, so we're going to hightail it over there and tell you what's what." And then we got our ass kicked and did so much shit to those civilians. Jesus Christ. Isn't there are still not only American soldiers dying, but Vietnamese people dying from like cancers and diseases that are a result of stuff like Agent Orange and all the shit that we did over there.
I almost forgot about Agent Orange, to be honest.
It's the whole thing. Napalm, that sticky stuff.
Yeah.
That I saw a picture. My history teacher showed us a picture of a little Vietnamese girl that may have been like 13, just with the shit painted over her back. And I was like, God!
That'd be painful. Very painful.
It's disgusting.
But I want to dial it back here to the superpowers. So, what superpower would you want to have?
Yeah, let's
and what would you do with
lighter.
it?
Let's get a little lighter with the superpowers because, we
Yeah,
thought we tied it together, but
dark.
as we discussed it, and now we're trying to tie it together, it's just not.
It's not going to work out very well.
When it comes to let's go first. What is the most overrated superpower in the world that you think?
Overrated. I would probably say mostly anything to do with Superman. Like most people say fly, most people say, well, I guess can't really say to Superman, but most people say fly, telekinesis, teleportation, invisibility, mind reading.
Yeah.
Those are like the major ones that I've always heard.
Why doesn't anyone say like buckshot, cum shot? You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's insane. That's insane, though. Just spread. Where's that bird shot? Am I tripping? What's the difference between buckshot and bird shot?
I'm not sure buckshot is a thing, unless it might be.
Buckshot is 1,000% a thing. I know bird shot. I think bird shot is the one with the most spread.
Yeah, bird shot has a lot of spread. Buckshot is just larger in size.
There you go. So yeah, sure. Let's get buckshot. Let's get that large, spread out cum shot.
Yeah, no, that would be
No one
horrible.
says that. No one says I don't think anyone wants to go the easy answer of being just Dr. Manhattan. Just God. Just to do whatever you want.
I mean, Dr. Manhattan was very overpowered, so.
Do you feel like being like a super genius? Do you think that would be a curse and a blessing? I'm not talking Dr. X super genius. I'm talking like just super genius,
I think it would both be a blessing and a curse because, I mean, for one, it'd be very hard to take jokes, especially jokes that aren't based in reality.
Yeah.
And even if they were, you'd be like, actually, maybe you wouldn't say it, but you definitely think it.
You'd be walking around like Castiel in Supernatural.
Yeah.
Do you get that? Do you get the reference?
Yes.
Do you? Who's Castiel? Pop quiz.
You're going to ask me.
Who's Castiel? Pop quiz.
You put me on the spot here. This is all your fault.
Well, you said you knew. Pop quiz.
Yes, I did.
You did, so you don't know anymore.
No, not
like
being put on the
Denzel
spot.
Washington and Remember the Titans.
All right.
No, it's not fun anymore. No, it's not.
Yes, all black people look the same.
But okay,
let's just throw
that out there. No, I think when it comes to overrated superpowers, I think it comes to like the limitations of it. It's like teleportation. What would be the real limitation on teleportation? Because you probably couldn't just snap your fingers and be on Mars.
If we're going like, if there has to be a limitation, I would put like a certain distance that you could teleport to.
Well, honestly, it's like, I find the mutant portion of Marvel so fun because like their powers are a mutation and there's drawbacks to having them. Cyclops has a pretty sick power, laser eyes, but he can't turn it off.
Yeah.
I like how it works that way,
I mean, that's how most people would think about it, I would assume, because, I mean, X-Men did set a good precedent for that. It's like, cool, you have all these powers, but there is a limitation. Because, I mean, Wolverine, endless regeneration, claws, but, his drawback is that it's painful every time those claws come out. And the fact that he's made out of adamantium.
Yeah, that adamantium ends up poisoning him and killing him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, depending on what you read.
Yeah, I mean,
Dr.
originally it was
Xavier.
just bone, but
Dr. Xavier, me and my lady were talking about this the other day, and I said that I'd probably want to be Dr. Xavier, but the drawback is, in my olden age, if I start freaking out, I kill everybody around me in like a 5-mile radius.
I mean, his issue was seizures that would spike everybody's head.
Yeah. Originally, I thought it was just supers. I said supers like I'm fucking in Incredibles, but I thought it would only affect mutants. But then I remembered Logan, and no, it freezes everybody.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get fixed soon, your brain is...
And Logan's only, like, upside to that was the fact that he could regenerate at any time. So any damage done up there, he could just regenerate and still be able to move.
Even then, he could barely make it through. He had a fucking...
Barely. Yeah. He was struggling, but he did it.
Honestly, the worst super... Honestly, I think shrinking would honestly be one of the worst superpowers you can have. Like, mainstream superpowers. Because
like, are we talking like Ant-Man style?
You get crushed so easy. Not just shrinking. Like, hey, I can shrink, you know?
Okay.
That has to be one of the... Because you shrink down, now you're in a yard, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes you so much longer to get across an area than everybody else. You don't get like super speed when you shrink. You just shrink. So 10 feet turns into 10 miles. And all you got to do if I spot you is just... Yeah. That's it. You know? That's it. Shrinking has got to suck.
I mean, I would imagine flight wouldn't be too difficult, considering you don't give off the same readings as a plane.
I learned an explanation about super speed, and I don't know if you looked on the TikTok likes recently on the Red Line Homies page. Go follow it.
Go follow.
I started liking one of my favorite creators on there. I can never remember his name, but he posts up old superhero cartoons or Pokemon cartoons or Yu-Gi-Oh cartoons or just animes. Yeah. And he does like funny voiceovers replacing whatever.
I've seen a couple of those. Not from the page, but just in my own watching.
He did one where Batman was talking about how he'd want super speed. And Superman and Flash were like, no, super speed is the worst power ever. And he was like, why? You could like run to Antarctica and back just like that. It's like, yeah, your perception is we are running to Antarctica back in 1 second. But our perception is we're just having a Sunday stroll. So they're just literally walking to Antarctica.
Yeah.
You know, just imagine walking to Antarctica. And the way Flash said it, he was like, days turn into months. Months turn into years. I've lost all of my self-worth.
I mean, if we're going through like, what is that, the comic version? Because the way the live action is always represented as is while everything is slow, so are you in a sense.
Well, I know.
Like anytime you've seen like a close up of the Flash running, he's always running in slow motion, but everything by him is just zooming on by.
The first scene I think of is Justice League, where Bruce throws a batarang at Flash, and then, you know, the lightning and everything slows down and he's moving normally.
Yeah.
That would be my perception of what super speed is.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the DC, or no, that's not DC. The other version, the X-Men version, with Quicksilver, yeah. And
is he not just moving normal too?
I couldn't tell from the cinematic universe side of it because in what was it, Days of Future Past?
Yeah.
The house blowing up scene, he at both times was moving normally and also moving quickly.
I never noticed that.
Always moving fast.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that until now. Is that a continuity issue with like realistically portraying super speed? Because you're right. There'd be times where he'd be just walking and like moving people, and then he would super speed while everything was still moving in slow motion.
Yeah.
So I guess if we take that as that, super speed isn't really that overrated.
Yeah.
But it's like, even then, how can you control it? You know?
I don't know, because I mean, the Flash has made a good point, like Flashpoint, that like he was stuck in the super speed mode, so everything else around him was just kind of frozen. Either it was that, or he was using a lot more energy to be faster. Well, everything was basically just frozen. But it seems like it could go both ways. Like, sure, you could days, be extra long because you are technically just moving at your own pace to Alaska and back or something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you wouldn't necessarily have to slow down your perception depending on what route you take.
Well, I guess
speed up your perception.
If you're like Dash from Incredibles,
yeah,
and you're just running in a straight line, I guess you don't really need to perceive everything around you.
Yeah, as long as nothing's in front of you. If you have an open path.
Yeah, but that's a problem, because you could be just, mountains, whatever. You just go on top of them. But if you see like you pass and all of a sudden there's an interstate, that's head-on collision with you fucking A-train someone's girl.
I was going to say A-train.
A-train someone's girl and just explode them.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's not... Then you got to run the rest... Then you got to run the rest of the way. You got to run the rest...
Run the rest of the way.
All bloody with guts and flesh on you.
But there's also taking into account the fact that he's vibrating, so that could shake off some of it, or just wind resistance knocking off the rest.
Have you seen Zoom? Do you remember Zoom?
Zoom is in like the Flash,
the Tim Allen superhero movie.
No,
where he plays a speedster. The only scene I remember is him holding up his finger, and he vibrates his finger like as fast as he can. He said, I can move my whole body like this. Only scene I remember in that movie. He's with like a group of kids that are superheroes.
2006 film.
2006 Zoom with Tim Allen.
I have never watched this.
Tim Allen plays a speedster, and also he got a role as Santa Claus. I think Tim Allen is just literally a god at this point.
He's an all-rounder. Yeah, I don't think I've heard of this movie happening.
Well, it happened when we were, 5 and 6 years old?
I may have been 5 around the time.
My parents loved Tim Allen, so I watched a lot of Tim Allen movies growing up. I watched Home Improvement growing up. Later, I watched Last Man Standing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, apparently it's on Netflix, so I might just have to cop a little watch, see what happens.
It's awful. Honestly, that might be a movie where we make that little commentary track that we were talking about. But let's move on to flying, right?
Flying.
I asked my lady, because she was like, I'd want to fly. I'm like, okay, how fast would you set that limit to flying?
And what realistic expectations would you have as to limitations in general? Like space flight, of course, speed.
We'll talk. So your limitations, you can't go into space, but you can handle the G-force. You can handle the thinner oxygen, right? Mm-hmm. What's the limit? How fast do you want to go, honestly?
If I can handle the G's, I'd imagine light speed wouldn't be out of the question, though it would be very hard to reach.
You can handle the G's up until supersonic.
So up until about 700 miles an hour?
Yes.
Then
that's pretty fucking fast.
Yeah.
But the drawback is you're going to be shot down.
You could be.
Could you be detected on radar? That might be a stupid question.
Personally, not really, unless you're making as much noise or as big and reflective as a plane.
What does radar track? Like, what does it specifically look for?
I believe radar is tracking sound waves.
I have no doubt that there's different kinds of radar, but like the basic Air Force, Navy radar systems. What are they looking for in the sky?
I know sonar tracks sound waves. Radar detects radio waves.
Okay. So radar, you wouldn't be able to... They wouldn't get us.
Not really.
But a sound, you probably make it a lot of noise. Especially if you're flying going, fuck yeah! You know?
I mean, any like air resistance would produce some sort of sound because that's just how that happens.
Yeah. Do you have to wear a flight suit? I'm guessing you have to wear a flight suit.
I would imagine because, again, air resistance would hurt.
And you have
just
to
like
wear...
they make a point of that in The Flash, especially the show, that like his suit is specifically crafted to reduce friction.
Yeah.
So,
and
I mean...
You have to wear a
imagine
helmet.
that.
That's just dangerous.
A bird would kill you.
Is that a bird? Yes, it is. Going through your skull.
Yeah. Exactly. Birds have been known to take down planes at times, so...
Dude, I could only imagine being like an eagle, just flying, just chilling, enjoying your day, and then you turn over and this human is just... Da, 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 da. It's like, what the fuck?
You ever seen that video of like the slingshot, like, carnival ride? That puts you in the ball and launches you in the air? There was one that was like, these two girls on it, and as soon as they launched, they hit a bird on one of the girls, and she was like, what? And flings it off. And there was a comedian that was like, I could imagine there's now 3 people screaming on that. One out of joy, one out of terror, and then the bird just like, what the fuck is this person doing up here?
What is happening? No, my favorite video of a bird is the Randy Johnson pitch. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You know what Randy Johnson is? I think his name's Randy Johnson. I'm going to fact check this while I tell this story. But he's up at the mound, and this dude throws hard. This dude throws... Yeah, his name's Randy Johnson. Throws upwards of like 105, 106.
Is this the dude that exploded a bird with his
This
baseball?
is what I'm talking about. Bird hit Jude perfectly. This bird got hit in the stomach, and it just fell, and you just saw it go. Doot, doot, doot. He is a cameraman for the MLB now, and it's his own company, and his company logo is a bird on the ground, featherless, and I find that very funny.
I'm looking that up because I have to see that.
Yeah, but no, flying would be sick, but yeah.
That's fantastic.
It's phenomenal. If y'all got time, look up Randy Johnson's logo. It's hilarious. But what would be a realistic drawback of flying?
I would have to put it up to air resistance, to be honest, because that's like the only thing stopping you besides satellite that can see you, maybe.
Well, because we have to come up.
There has to be something. I would say, I don't know.
Like there was the guys at Distractable, Markiplier, Bob, and Wade. Mm-hmm. They did a AI generated superpower into a fight, and one of the powers Bob got was he can reverse gravity at any time, but anytime he does, he gets severe vertigo. So could you imagine if you get gifted the power of flight, but every time you fly, you have a severe case of vertigo?
That would be...
You are coating the sidewalks in vomit.
Yeah.
Or I believe there was a will you press the button. Now, I don't know if this is worse, where you can fly, but anytime you take off, you have to be naked.
Okay, how about
anything?
How about we give it the limitation of you can fly, but you're afraid of heights?
Oh. Oh, man. How high would you get? How high would a person, because I know you have a somewhat fear of heights. How high in the air do you think you could go?
So, from personal experience, the highest I've been, besides, not accounting for land height, would probably be like 23 to 25 feet in the air.
That's not tall at all.
No. That was me jumping off a cliff. Funny story. But that was me jumping off a cliff. And then besides that, I've been in planes. I don't really have much of an issue with flying in general.
Is that taller than most bridges that you go under on the interstate?
25 feet.
That has to be, right?
I don't think so. But I guess it depends on where you're coming from, because I see a lot of bridges around where I'm at now.
Most bridges on 24.
On 24, yeah. I think 25 will be higher than that.
Okay. Barely, though.
Yeah.
You're avoiding lampposts and
like
shit.
The bottom of the bridge, like the underside, was like, I want to say, 15, 16 feet off?
Since we gave you can fly, but you have a fear of heights, you can have super speed, but you get vertigo when you come down from super speed. We have to do that.
Imagine just stopping and vomiting like a fly.
Yeah, it's like it's like the Flash. Go get him. It's like, all right, Batman takes off and gets there and just. Oh God.
Okay. Invisibility, though.
Invisibility?
What would be a limitation, and what would be a...
You get a bad case of the giggles. That would be fucking hilarious. Because, people use invisibility like, oh, I'm going to rob a bank. And the entire time they're walking, you just see them go, hee.
pull out the raft laugh.
That, or I picture like the George Bush laugh.
Okay.
Sure. Don't zoom in on my lips. Me when I edit this into a short. Don't zoom in on the.
Me when I edit the video, zoom it into the lips.
Fucking having the power to go invisible, but unable to contain some giggles is fucking hilarious.
It sounds like the two best friends where the teacher gets mad at them for laughing all the time, but then you just look at each other.
Dude, have you ever watched anything Pretty Much It does?
No.
I think this is where I got it from, but they were doing commentary tracks over Harry Potter. And there's a scene. Have you watched all the Harry Potters?
Yes.
There's a scene where Ron and Harry are under the cloak of invisibility.
Yeah.
And Dumbledore, Hagrid, and like the main like white hair bad guy are all talking. And Dumbledore says something like, help will go to anybody at Hogwarts who asks for it, or something like that. And he looks directly at Ron and Harry under the cloak.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, did he just see him? It's like, yeah, they've been giggling the entire time. And that's just, he. Oh my God, they can't see us.
Yeah, I think they make a point in Harry Potter to be very quiet most of the time when they're under that cloak.
Now, I want to do a little semantics right here. What does classify as a superpower? Like, what is a superpower?
I would say anything beyond normal human means.
Right?
Like, it's generally classified like superhuman.
Do you think there are humans right now that can be classified as having superpowers?
I think most cases of real superpowers that I had seen, I just hit my mic. I think most cases of that would be classified as some super rare disease.
Well, here, let me propose this. Mark Henry, whoa, yeah, that guy?
Yeah.
Guy who became the world's strongest man, but before that was known as Sexual Chocolate for some reason.
I didn't know of that nickname.
He was known
at all
as Sexual Chocolate.
Okay.
And he had a baby with an old woman, and that baby was a hand. Professional wrestling is weird. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
He was known as like the world's strongest man, and they gave him a cast iron pan and said bend it, and he was able to bend it. Mm-hmm. Right? A lot of people say a lot of people said it was gimmicked, wasn't real.
No,
but
there's like world record attempts of bending cast iron pans.
Yeah, So, would you consider that a superpower?
I mean, he's just really fucking strong.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do
I
you
wouldn't say if
classify
it's.
as
I don't
like
mean.
normal human stuff?
I guess. I mean, well, that's definitely not normal human stuff. I can agree. As far as I mean, considering at some point he was the world's strongest man, I guess maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, arguing semantics here, yeah.
But then you can, then I guess you can argue a guy jumping real high. You know,
There's the dude. I want to say in Japan, that's known as like the world's worst upstairs neighbor. Because all of his content is him jumping, and he has to has to hold weights and all this extra stuff to not hit the ceiling.
really?
I don't know if you've ever seen that guy.
No.
A lot of his stuff is him sitting in a chair with like 2 10-pound weights and him jumping super fucking high.
Oh yeah, if I'm his neighbors, I'm pissed.
Oh yeah,
I'm annoyed.
for sure. He's
That's
had
how Lil
videos of
Jon
him
got
jumping with weights, and he has to wear a helmet so when he does hit his head on the ceiling, it doesn't hurt him too bad.
Is that how YouTube Rewind got that idea?
Which
while
YouTube
ago?
Rewind?
The one that was 2 Lil Jons turned down for what? Where like PewDiePie fell through the ceiling, and then he was in a room, and then they fell through the room. They were in another room just going down an apartment building.
I don't think that's where that idea came from, to be honest.
My fat ass, if I jumped that much with weights, I'm going through.
I
going
probably
down.
wouldn't.
And people are yelling timber. You better move. You better dance.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that I would fall through the floor, but I couldn't jump that high at all.
So, superpowers, do you want to say just our inhuman abilities?
Yeah, that'd be a good thing. I mean, super speed, flight, invisibility aren't really human abilities at all.
So, past anything any human can do.
Yes.
Okay. Because I just,
So, I mean, if we're saying super strength, I usually think Superman.
Or Hulk.
Because, or Hulk.
Is Hulk
yeah.
stronger
than Superman?
I know there's that, like, if the Avengers and the Justice League fought, first of all, the Avengers would get the shit kicked out of them. Second of all, the Hulk would fight Superman, because that's the best shot they have against Superman.
Either him or Thor.
But, I know this isn't like a superhero debate, but who would win, Superman or Thor? And we're not going to do like a death battle, take them at their strongest. Even then, I think Thor gets the shit kicked out of him.
I don't know. Because, I mean, are we talking Mjolnir Thor or Stormbreaker Thor? Because, I mean, both of which nobody can lift but Thor. Or
well, that's
Captain
not based
America.
on strength, though.
That's based on worthiness. So, I mean, they've shown Hulk trying to lift it and getting pulled into the ground.
Yeah,
but
like
I mean,
said,
considering
that's not based on strength.
Yeah, but I mean, just in terms of I'm fighting you, if Thor gets the chance, he could just sit either weapon onto Superman, and Superman wouldn't be able to go anywhere.
That is true. That is true.
Given he gets the chance to do so.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah,
because Superman is faster than Flash. I think that's been proven, right?
I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me. They raced at the end of Justice League, so
yeah, I know they've raced in the movies, they've raced in the comics, but I can't tell you who won either way. I just can't remember right now. But I think it was Superman. I don't
think I've seen the ending to either of those, so I'm not sure.
Well, at the end of Justice League, they didn't show.
Oh no, I mean the ending of the race. I mean the end of the race. I know I've seen Justice League shows them starting to race, but that's the end of the movie.
And Thor is not as quick as either. Not even close.
Thor is not, no. Thor can fly, yes, but he can't fly as fast as Superman because he's using his weapon to do so.
I think the better matchup is Hulk and Superman.
Yeah, but in that case,
Superman
Hulk
handles
gets his
Doomsday pretty well. And I know Doomsday isn't exactly Hulk, but Doomsday is like stronger than Hulk.
Hulk would get his shit rocked.
By Doomsday, absolutely.
By Superman.
by Superman?
Yes.
How many rounds?
Probably one.
Just one.
I mean, given Hulk gets stronger the angrier he gets, and I'd imagine he'd get pretty fucking angry fighting Superman.
Yeah.
Superman is just, he's shown to be in both comics and live action to be just unbelievably strong. I mean, besides his one caveat of the crystals, what were they called? Kryptonite. But I wouldn't imagine Hulk to take advantage of that.
I kind of
want Hulk's usual intelligence.
I kind of want to go down this entire route now. So let's just pit the base Justice League versus the base Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
The base Justice League is Aquaman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Green Lantern, right?
Mm-hmm.
Base Avengers is Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, and who else?
Black Widow.
I know Black Widow and Hawkeye are in the movies, but is that the comics?
Comics, I'm not sure.
Well, we'll just go with that. If we're going with that, they're getting their shit rocked.
Yeah.
It's not going to be close.
No.
Because you could.
Their only real chance would be Thor and Hulk.
I think, honestly, Captain America would beat Batman. That's just me. All right? No, I don't have a bias for Captain America because he's my favorite Marvel superhero. I don't, okay? I'm just saying. Hand to hand, no gadgets, no nothing. Captain America is kicking the shit out of Batman.
I mean, are we talking Batman being trained by...
We're talking Batman. Regular Bruce Wayne Batman.
Yeah, but wasn't he trained by Ra's al Ghul?
He was, but
who was
Captain
really
America's faster.
strong?
He's stronger.
I mean, Captain America has borderline superhuman abilities just from that, him being genetically modified.
Yeah. But I guess we have to go with gadgets.
Yeah.
Even in that case, I think it's really close.
Honestly, I'm not too sure now that I think about it. Because, I mean, if we're going gadgets, Captain America has the all-rounder shield.
Yeah.
That's made out of adamantium. Can withstand bullets. He can use it as a battering, yeah.
Well, anything outside of a couple hits from Thanos, apparently.
Yeah,
but
that's...
Thanos using?
Thanos was using the glove, I want to say.
No, he was using the double sword.
To bash in Captain America? Oh, wait, yeah, no, Thanos is an alien that is a Titan. So. I'm
sorry, I kind of just switched on you a little bit. But...
Yeah.
Honestly, so in Batman's base,
Superman or Captain America probably might take it.
Batman's base gadgets probably be his grappling hook, the batarangs, the smoke bombs, right? I know he's got a litany of shit. Plethora.
But all of that, I think Captain America could just take on with a shield.
Right, and this isn't like the back alleys of Gotham. This is like open field.
Yeah.
Honestly, if the Avengers are going to get a win, I think Captain America beats Batman.
Yeah, I could say that, yeah.
So what else? Iron Man would probably go with Green Lantern, and Iron Man is losing.
Iron Man would get his shit kicked in.
And then anybody... and they're like, okay, our last chance, Black Widow and Hawkeye. And they're like...
What do you want me to do?
What the fuck? That's quick work. That's light work for the Justice League. The rest of the Justice League
would take that.
Is going to look at Batman and be like, you a bitch. You a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, the rest of Justice League will probably tell Batman to sit the hell down somewhere. They got it.
Sit this one out, Bruce. But I think a better match would be, I don't want to turn this into whatever, but I'm now interested in all this. The, what are they called? It's something 6, right? In the boys.
I almost said Sinister 6, but
I almost said Sinister 6 too.
I don't think that's the boys reference.
It's like the all 6, the all powerful 6, the A6.
The boys 6 is what I just looked up. Issue 6? No.
What is
the boys omnibus? No. I don't know, to be honest.
In the boys. The Seven. They're just called the Seven.
Ah, the Seven.
The Seven versus the Justice League.
Considering I call the boys a knockoff.
I think they're supposed to be a parody
Justice
of
League. No, they are.
Yeah.
But
Homelander,
in terms
Superman, A-Train's Flash, old fish fucker is Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, my buddy showed me a clip of him getting a blowjob from an octopus, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think.
Yeah, I remember that scene. It was something.
It was something.
It was something. But in terms of power and how they'd use it, I would say that pretty much everybody from the Justice League but Batman would have it.
Because there's
no Batman representative in the Seven of the boys,
right? And we have to go with base Bruce Wayne, base Batman.
Yeah. So he's just getting his ass beat.
Yo, he's gonna have to go back to Alfred and go to some therapy sessions.
Because if we're going like the Flash would beat out A-Train.
Aquaman beat the fuck out of that fish fucker, that little perv.
Yeah.
Homelander
would stand a good fight against Superman, but that would just be like a never-ending fight.
I brought up Death Battle earlier, and I know we said we wouldn't use it, but did you see the Homelander versus Omni-Man?
No.
Okay, he put up... Do you care if I spoil it?
Go for it.
He put up a good fight against Omni-Man until Omni-Man started trying. And then he got the shit kicked out of him. And that's because Homelander, I think they said, is overly emotional. Like, he's powerful, but he doesn't know how to use his powers. Mm-hmm. I think...
Homelander's just a big baby.
Yeah, I think Homelander would fuck up Superman a little bit, and then Superman would be like, okay. And then he'd bitch smack him. It wouldn't be close.
Like, have you ever seen Megamind? Like, the big evil guy, I forgot his name. I think he called himself Titan.
Oh, I was about to say Megamind? No. Titan.
I'd say, like him and the original guy, Super Guy, they fight? They fought. Metro Man, yeah. And Titan was just...
Titan got bitch slapped.
Yeah. Just like how I would imagine Superman would do Homelander.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that's that. And then, Starlight, I don't know if she really has a match.
Starlight? I guess she's supposed to be a play off of Starfire. But even then, Starfire...
Which would be more of a Teen Titans thing. Yeah, but then I forgot the other girl that is a direct match for Wonder Woman.
What is her name? It's something with an M, but I think we agree the Seven would get their shit kicked in. I don't think there's anybody on the Seven that's fucking with any of the Justice League members.
Yeah.
And then the Avengers are gonna the Avengers are gonna come running up, and the Seven's gonna kick the shit out of the Avengers. They just need
Avengers really don't have much in the way of superhuman abilities because you've got Hulk, Thor, Captain America.
Now, if we expand the Avengers to swallow, the Fantastic Four, who do a lot of stuff with the Avengers.
Yeah, or Teen Titans.
Or
Teen
Young
Titans
Justice. Young Justice or DC.
Yeah.
But then, if the Avengers swallow the Fantastic Four and approach the Justice League, they're going to be like, okay, we'll call
they can also
Superboy,
swallow the X-Men
we'll
as
call
well.
Cyborg, we'll call Starfire and Raven. Well, I guess then you also got Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch versus Raven would be sick. And my God, would I be hard.
I can't disagree with you, but...
Oh, man. What age is Raven? Hold up. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
There's differences.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
There's different...
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
I might have to retract statements here. She's 18. No, 18. Or when she arrives on Earth, to form the Teen Titans.
Okay, that
In
one's
reboot
sexy.
comics, she's 16 or 17.
When she's an adult, she is very attractive. When she is not, she is not. She is not.
Ooh.
Moving on.
Okay, yeah. In the Teen Titans comics, she's 18.
You know, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's just...
Yeah, let's move on.
One power we really want to talk about, because I got fascinated with them when I was younger. What Green Lantern Corps would you want to be a part of?
There was one specifically that I remember that I said, yeah, I'd want that one.
So red is rage, yellow is fear, green is obviously willpower, white is like pure good, black is death. I believe it's full of a bunch of zombie persons.
Yeah.
There's another one that is pure greed, where the all of them have their little slogan.
I got it. Orange is greed, yellow fear, blue hope, indigo compassion, violet love, black death, white life, and of course green willpower, red rage.
Yeah. Dude, orange, you know how they all have their little slogan they say into the lantern?
No.
Where, you know, as dark as day.
Oh, yeah,
that shit. Yeah. Orange holds it up and it's just what is mine is mine is mine is mine, and what mine is mine and yours is mine. Or something like that. It's so funny. Honestly, I don't think I could resist green. Making anything you can just on your willpower alone.
Green is my favorite color, so that's my cop-out answer. I would probably pick orange, greed.
Greed?
To be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Just because if I had that power, I just know I could be greedy for anything, to be honest. There's too much to not want.
See, I don't want to say like life and death, white and black, because I feel like that's too easy. I don't want to say green because that feels too basic. Mm-hmm. Red fits my personality because I get to be a very angry lad.
Yeah.
Honestly, yellow would be pretty sick. Fear.
So I'm seeing green is difficult to master. Red is difficult to control. Orange
Certainly.
is difficult to defeat. Yellow can consume other yellow lanterns. Blue, which is strong and all-encompassing. Indigo, which puts greater good first. Violet is also difficult to control. Black is extremely powerful. White can defeat black.
Yeah. Batman, I believe, becomes a White Lantern in one of the comic runs.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. He becomes the
honesty.
Well, there's comic book runs where he becomes White Lantern, where he becomes Black Lantern.
I could also see Indigo if they ever did that.
Honestly, though,
Compassion.
Blue would probably be my go. Hope. I'm wearing blue right now. I didn't even notice. Look at that. Blue versus red.
Yeah.
How we doing? But I've always been fascinated by the Green Lantern Corps. I hated the movie.
Oh, I think you, along with most other people, did.
I pledge allegiance to a lantern that I got from a dying purple alien.
Yeah.
I thought it was sick when I was little just because I loved the scene where a big-ass fist would come out of his hand.
Yeah, I loved it as a kid, but like going back, and it was just like, it wasn't that good of a movie.
Is regeneration, would that power actually suck? Because you basically become immortal?
I would say it sucks because, one, you do become immortal. I would be in the caveats of this. 2, you would still feel pain. 3, you would feel the healing process, which I imagine wouldn't be all that good considering, when cuts and scrapes heal, they get really itchy.
I always thought the worst kind of immortal...
that would suck.
The worst kind of immortal would probably be the Black Pearl immortal. Where you're always starving, you're always thirsty, you can't feel anything, but you are forever alive.
You said Black Pearl, and I thought Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
And I'm getting that from Captain Barbossa's monologue to Elizabeth. It was like, I can't feel the wind on my face nor the sea on my skin or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, eat, but I'm always hungry. I drink, but I'm always thirsty. That sounds like hell. That kind of immortality already. Like, I don't want to be here to experience the heat death of the universe, you know, and just be floating in absolute nothingness.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see that at all.
But even then, how many lifetimes would you like live before you just feel nothing? You know?
I would imagine, at least from representations I've seen of other immortal people, that it's just kind of, you just don't notice when you stop feeling things.
Yeah.
It just kind of happens at some point.
Have you seen, oh my God, what is that called? It's like, it's a movie.
The Old Guard.
Or it's a book about this family that is thirsty and they drink from this pond to become immortal. And the boy falls in love with a girl.
I haven't seen that.
I read it back in I think it's called Tuck Everlasting.
Yeah, no, I hadn't heard of that one.
Yeah, he falls in love with this girl and he wants her to drink so that she becomes immortal and goes with him. But then he comes back like 70 years later and sees her grave. Like she never drank from it, you know, because they had to go because the town found out they were mortal. And this was back in, burn the witches, you know?
Yeah.
Which honestly, that's justified. But he came back to get her and she was dead and she was gone. She didn't drink. But
yeah,
like, just being immortal does not sound like a good time.
When I thought of immortal, I thought of the movie that came out in 2020, The Old Guard, which was like a group of immortal people who had unlocked a certain gene, and then it unlocked their immortality, but they still feel the pain, and at some point they just kind of stop healing.
So their body is actively dying, but they can't die?
You just never know when. Like, if you don't mind if I spoil it for you.
I don't care.
At some point, the main character, Andy, towards the end of the movie, she gets shot, and she noticed shortly thereafter that she had just stopped healing. And it's kind of, there's a rule that goes on in that universe that there can only be so many people that are immortal at once. And the girl that unlocked her immortality at the beginning of the movie was right after the death of somebody else that was immortal. So I believe like that's one caveat of it. The two would be that you just never know when you stop being immortal until at some point you just either start growing older or you get some sort of injury that doesn't heal.
You just end up putting a bullet in your mouth every day until one day you just go out.
I believe that is a point that somebody had done. I think in that movie, there is a person that is constantly dying and coming back to life, but she's underwater, trapped in a box that was with Andy when they started, being immortal in the Egyptian times.
See, I find that version of immortality way more interesting than just you stuck at the age you became immortal, and that's it.
I mean, they were stuck at that age for thousands of years.
Well, I'm saying like just you're stuck at this age and now you live forever,
Yeah.
I'm saying like the version of immortality where you suffer pain and it can't heal, or like in Pirates of the Caribbean, you're always hungry and you're always thirsty, like you are constantly dying and you can never quench, you can never heal, but you're immortal. You cannot die.
Yeah.
There's
a web comic I started reading recently called Bones that is just like that. That it's got that representation of immortality. Like, dude's regenerating, really painful, but he can't die. And at some point he's stuck underground, encased in diamond, and he's suffocating, trying to break out of diamond, and just dying all over and over again.
Now, what is the absolute worst superpower that you think you could come up with right now? Or worst superhero that you think you could come up with?
Well, buckshot cum shot is one of the worst superpowers I could think of.
You have to scream it too. when you're having
imagine
sex.
the prep time.
Dude, imagine if you don't pull out. What does that look like? That's gotta hurt you, honestly.
It looks messy, painful, and probably murderous.
I love how you say looks as if you are actively picturing it. And
that's because I can't not picture it as soon as you said it.
Buckshot, cum shot.
I immediately thought, no, I'm not.
No, my mind immediately flashes to ASDF movie. Did you watch those growing up?
Yes.
Tree Man. He's getting away with my purse. I'll save you. Tree powers activate. And he just turns into a tree.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so stupid.
I can't imagine a bad superpower or superhero other than like...
Dude, I want Deadshot, but instead of guns, he just has his dick. And he just... he can load up a sniper shot. He can load up a semi... He can fucking semi-automatic that bitch. I'm just imagining him on top of a roof, dick in hand.
Okay, but how would he reload? Would he... Huh? How would he reload?
Squeeze
you said like
balls.
See, but like, what would be the ammunition? Is it cum? Is it
cum.
pee?
It's semen.
Okay.
The pee is in the reservoir. That's his reserves.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but I was thinking something along the lines of swallowing bullets or inserting them.
Imagine looking out your window and you're like, "Oh my god, that's an assassin! Oh my god, he's got his dick in his hand! What is he doing up there?"
It's like, hello, 911, public indecency.
And the drawback on that superpower is you get very socially anxious. So you're in a bad situation and you're having a fucking...
Or the post-nut clarity just hits a little too hard.
You have to... All the guilt of murdering someone, and yet you murdered someone by coming on them. Oh my god, you're going to have a mental breakdown. We're not going to be okay for a long time.
For a long time.
Hey, can you get cum shot up here? He doesn't want to be called that anymore. Please stop calling him that.
This man actively carries a rope with him. Hey, if anything, if you're struggling, there are hotlines available.
Oh man, that's fucking hilarious.
I can imagine explosive diarrhea being turned into a superpower.
Oh man. Drawback is you can't control it. Oh, that's so gross. Why are we
You're not allowed
so
to go on plane
this?
flights? Because I mean, that's the first thing when you think bad superpower is something to do with the human body that's just gross. And when in public,
I imagine the comic book of like our superhero, like I don't know, Detective Diarrhea or whatever you want to call him, just like on the plane, newspaper, and then it zooms in on his face, and he's just like. Get out of my way! Just running up the hall and just lava melts the plane. You've killed us all. I'm sorry.
It's like you're on the no-fly list for every country.
You're on the no-fly list because you've taken down the last 10 planes you've been on with your scalding hot diarrhea.
Yeah.
Oh my god, could you imagine if cum shot was always fertile? Like every shot? Dude.
Well,
I pull some
how
trick
would
shots.
See, the issue is which version? Are we talking like buckshot or dead shot?
We're talking about dead shot, as in the version I came up with where, like, I don't know, he does a little code on his balls and it turns into a sniper shot or a little MP3 or
see, the issue is how would you translate that fertility into non-fatality?
That is true. It's a blessing and it's a curse.
It's like I got to be a certain distance away for it to slow down enough for you to get impregnated.
I have to be 5 miles away. I promise I'm not leaving you. Just
I promise I won't miss.
In front of the window. All right. You come back and her brains are on the wall and you're like, ah, shit. I got too excited.
Damn it!
I miscalculated. Oh God!
All right, next time 7 miles. We got this.
Next time 7 miles. Fuck! God!
It's like I can do it one day.
Oh my God, dude! Black Canary, the supersonic screech, supersonic moans. We have to be gross, so instead of it's everybody
that one sound clip that everybody knows of that you never want to be played in public on your phone.
Dude, it's like nobody gets hurt, everybody just gets really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
I'd imagine supersonic moaning would probably be like several layers deep of ear protection to not get your shit rocked.
Even then, you're like, oh my God, could you stop? Please stop.
That's where the ball gag becomes necessary.
Oh man, we're stopping this episode right here. Why?
All right, I'm done.
Why does he have a ball gag on? Please don't take it off. He's just looking at you like, don't take it off, please.
I'm done.
Don't take it off. It will set off Deadshot. Anyway. That's fucking gross. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's got a little more gross and a little more everywhere than we had planned it to. As always, follow the socials. TikTok, Instagram. Where is that, Z?
That'll be down in the descriptions here or in our link tree on any of our other socials, which are also there.
Absolutely. Listen, there's an audio version. If you're listening to the audio, go to YouTube, watch the video version. If you're watching on YouTube, go to the audio version. We got Audible. What do we got, Z?
We got Audible, we got Apple Podcasts, we've got Spotify.
Amazon Music, I believe, too.
That's Audible, pretty much.
Oh, I thought they were two different. Anyways, Red Light Homies anywhere. And as always, please, if you want to help out the show, you like the show, like, rate, and share. Especially rating 5 stars.
Especially sharing.
Even if you hate us, in that 5 stars, tell us why you think Cumshot is such a great superhero. And
you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have
but
to.
You
do
can.
That. Give us 5 stars. Give us 5 stars. Even if you hate us, you hate our voices, you hate how we look, you hate whatever, 5 stars, please.
And hey, if you hate how we look, you can always just listen on the non-video platforms.
Yeah, but make sure you don't talk about his looks because you'll get called a racist. Anyways.
Yes.
Make sure you share the show. If you got a friend, you got a random person, you got a family member, you got whoever, and they're like, my podcast library is a little dry, what do they say to them, Z?
You can always recommend the homies over here at Red Light Homies. You got Jackie and Z, the funniest guys about.
Absolutely. And this was your homies, Jackie and Z, Red Light Homies. And we see y'all next Monday.
Peace out.